guys, Sabina here with another episode of Beanie Bits. Today, I want to talk about making a decision. Have you ever noticed that when you make a decision, no matter how big or small, but you make a definite decision, all of a sudden it seems like the universe, God, it's like whatever your higher power is, it all conspires to make it happen for you. Have you ever noticed that? It is so good. A really good example is one of my really good friends. She was thinking about buying our house a few years ago, and she was going back and forth, And I suggested, I said, "Hey, you taught me, make a decision. Just make the decision." So she made the decision to sell the house. And the afternoon, the coming soon sign was in her front yard. A couple hours later, she actually had an offer on the house. It was meant to be. So once you make a decision, all the powers that are, they're like, oh, finally, here, have it all, have it now, and figure it out. Oh, by the way, there is more coming. And it is so good, especially when you're open to receiving everything that you're looking for. Most of the time, actually, pretty much all the time, once you make the decision and you follow that and take steps towards what you want, usually you end up getting a lot more and a lot better than what you anticipated. It is so awesome. It's like recently I made the decision. It wasn't a hard decision for me because it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I joined the Napoleon Hill Institute to become a certified coach through there because Napoleon Hill is teaching what I've been talking about. Now I just learn a little bit different language, but essentially it's all the same thing. Mostly is what you think about, you bring about. And that goes back into making the decision. It's like, oh, you thought about it. Oh, yeah, it would be so nice if this, that, or the other would happen, or if I could have this, that, or the other. But most of the time, we simply don't take action towards that what we want. And once we actually do, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this no matter what. And then it is so awesome to watch everything that's just coming. I mean, the people, the circumstances, everything you need is just coming to you. And it's so beautiful to watch. I mean, it's not just for myself, but for my friends, for my clients, for everybody. It's like, hey, make a decision. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a ginormous, big, huge decision, Just start playing with like small things if you want to test out the water. But if you really want to go for the big stuff, make a decision. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go for this. This is what I want. And I'm going to make it happen. I don't know how. And you don't have to worry about the who's, the hows, the what's and when's. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to worry about any of this, right? It's like you just make the decision and then you just go one step at a time forward into the direction that you want. You can always course direct a little bit. Nobody says it's like, this is how it has to be. And it's just like all of this, right? No, be open. It's like, oh, I want to go this way. And I might go this a little bit and that a little bit. And that's okay because we course correct and we learn along the way. But it all starts with a decision. It's like Napoleon Hill, for instance, when Andrew Carnegie propositioned him to write and study all the greats that have had all the success, like Henry Ford and I mean so many Edison and whoever else, right? And to gather all that information and spend 20 years of his life to gather that. It took Napoleon Hill 29 seconds to make that decision. And as a result, we have this amazing book here, amongst others, Think and Grow Rich. Some of you probably have heard about it. It's like, oh yeah, I read this. This is so good, which is awesome. I've read it many times, but studying it is a whole nother story, but I'm not getting into that today. But he made the decision to move forward and look at what he built. That little book right there created more millionaires than anything else ever. It's so good. But it started with a decision, right? Like Steve Jobs, he wanted a phone. He wanted to put everything he wanted the iPhone. right? He didn't know how or who or what, but he made the decision. It's like, I want this. And, he gathered the people. He created his mastermind group. He created all the people and everything, and he made it happen. He didn't know the who's, the hows, the what's, and whens. We don't have to. We just have to make the decision and be like, this is it, right? I want this. And then your willingness to do what you need to do to take action. Action is the key word. You have to take action to go towards what you want. Anyway, it starts with a decision. Make a decision. Is so good. This is awesome. I will be back tomorrow. See you then. Have a great one. Bye.